Good afternoon, everybody. Tasha here from Tasha and Josh Kitchen. And today I have a special guest. Oh, I guess he don't like me anymore. How's everybody doing this afternoon? I hope everybody's doing well. So we have a guest today. His name is Adam Moore. He is a Chicago-based chef. And he's also the owner of Flashpoint Innovation. He's a certified sommelier and the ambassador for True Aussie Beef and Lamb. Today, he's going to be talking to us about the interactive Aussie dinner hour and a Guinness World Record attempt for most users in a dinner party. So that's pretty exciting. That's happening tomorrow. But first, he's going to be doing something before that. Okay, so Adam is a very well-known chef, having had opportunity to appear on various media outlets to show his audiences interesting recipes. But today, he will be showing us a recipe of his own. It's going to be a lamb rub. He's going to be also talking about a few cuts of lamb. So we are waiting. Here we go. Here he is. Hi, chef. Let's invite him up. Okay, 1 second, guys. We are waiting. Here we go. Hi.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
How's the weather in Chicago?
Nice and cold. We're expecting some snow, but so far nothing yet. So
it's freezing here.
And where are you based out of?
We're in Queens, New York.
Awesome.
Howard Beach. Yeah, it's pretty cold over here today. Not for nothing. It's pretty cold the past few days, so I can imagine that it's really cold for you guys out there.
Yeah, you tend to get everything a day or two after us, so I'll give you a forewarning what happens in the next couple hours.
Cool. Our audience about a little bit about yourself and what you're gonna do for us today.
Sure. So today, it's all about lamb. So as we gear up for a really fun and exciting Guinness Book of World Records that we're looking to beat tomorrow for Australia Day for the world's largest virtual dinner party, one of the things that I do as a chef from around the country as I'm traveling, when we can travel, but now doing this virtually, is to really show everyone like how easy it is to cook with lamb and some inspiration when cooking with lamb. So today we're making one of my favorite all-purpose lamb rubs, and it uses some spices, even though like what I love about the rub is that it uses a lot of spices that go really, really well with lamb on their own, but combined they just make a really beautiful rub. And so I thought this was perfect because even if you don't have all these spices that I'm not sure what you can see in front of me or whatnot, but I'll hold them up to the camera. But if you don't have all these spices, that's okay, because you can still just draw, like if maybe you have one or two in your spice cabinet, it's fine because they all go perfect with lamb. So the rub that I'm making today, it's meant to be all purpose. So we make a bunch of it, and then we can use it just any time that we want to cook with lamb. We can also use it if we're cooking with beef too. So the spices that I have in front of me, one is that I love to cook with whole spices. I get asked all the time, like, how do chefs really infuse a lot of flavor into recipes? And so starting with whole spices where you can. And so in front of me, I've got a few that go very well, and they're my all-stars with lamb. First one is whole cumin. I have that there. And I've also toasted these. These bring, toasting some of those spices bring out just a ton of gorgeous flavor, like a nice little nuttiness to a lot of the spices. I've also got a little bit of yellow mustard seed here. Got a little bit of caraway seed too. This is what you commonly see in rye bread, but this provides a nice little back note into any spice blend. And then whole peppercorns instead of ground peppercorns. So, if you're cooking with pre-ground stuff, always try to start with whole. But in the event that you have ground, got a few others in front of me, some rubbed sage, garlic. I've got garlic and onion powder, as well as a nice curry blend, which you can find that just about anywhere. So nice little curry blend, again, goes great on its own with lamb. And then kosher salt, as well as a little bit of brown sugar and thyme. So whenever I create a rub, I always try to find a nice balance. You see the last two was salt and sugar. I always try to find a nice balance of sweetness, salt. If I can infuse a little bit of acid, like a little bit of citrus zest, for example, that's great. But otherwise, I go nice little balance of sweet and salt, plus all of my other inclusions. So in front of me, I've got one of these. This is a spice grinder. You might see some folks use this to grind their coffee at home, which I don't recommend because it just blasts it into bits. But this is a great tool to grind your own spices. So I'm going to add in our peppercorns, a little bit of that caraway seed, the mustard seed, and then that cumin. And I'm just going to give this just a quick pulse, and that's going to bring out all those beautiful aromatics that we have in our rub. And I just give it a shake just to continually incorporate it and give it like a nice little ground texture. And so you see, gosh, I wish you all could smell this because it just smells fantastic right now. And so you can see it's about the same size and granulation as the rest of my spices. And then simply, I'm just going to take the rest of those, toss them all together in a bowl in front of me. And then I like to mix with my hands. You know, people always ask me like about all these fancy kitchen gadgets and tools, but nothing beats just mixing and using your hands for everything that you cook. And you can really feel just the granulation of everything. You make sure that everything's just properly incorporated or ground up. And so that's, you know, we get this beautiful, beautiful rub that we can just put in an airtight container, and it'll store in your cabinet for anywhere between 6 months to a year, depending on how often you open it. I always recommend to err on the side of about 6 months with any of your spices just to keep them at peak freshness. And if you're not going to use it and you have a vacuum sealer, for example, at home, you can use that too to keep your spices fresher even longer. So also in front of me, I've got a few different cuts of lamb. These are some of the common cuts that you'll see at the store. We've got ground lamb, for example. You probably see the classic French rack, nice luxurious cut. And this time of the year, because with COVID, a lot of restaurants have been shut down, as we know. Typically, this cut is one that goes straight into food service. But since there haven't been a lot of restaurants open, there actually has been a lot of supply of this. So you might find a good deal at a retailer for this type of cut. So if it wasn't affordable before,
really good to know.
yeah, take a look. If you have a Costco that's nearby, like Costco's running a good deal on this too, but there's plenty of other retailers all around the country. It all depends on where you're at. Whether you're on the East Coast or the West Coast, the retailers are different. But we have an awesome tool on our website, trueaussiebeefandlamb.com/where to buy, and you can find all of the different retailers that carry Australian. And then finally, we've got a whole lamb leg, which, you know, this is great because if you're looking to feed a family, this already comes in a net. Don't know if you can really see that there. Yeah, there you go. So you can see that it's already in a net, so you don't have to worry about tying it up or anything. You can just tuck your herbs under there and give it like a nice seasoning rub. Throw it in the oven, and you can just chop off what you need for meal that night. You can freeze the leftovers. You can slice it. You can dice it. You can roast it whole. It's really, really versatile in terms of what you can use it for. All of our lamb is 100% pasture raised. And then our beef, which we're not talking about today, but our grass-fed beef, all of that's 100% grass-fed and grass-finished. There's more sheep and more cattle than people in Australia. And so there's plenty of land for them to roam. So that's really important because that leads to just a more nutritious final product. But also, you know, that's the way that we're guaranteeing that they're fed that way their entire life.
That's excellent. That is excellent. Yeah. I grew up in South America, so I love to hear that because that's how I grew up seeing lamb and, well, any animal being raised to be slaughtered. So that's excellent. I love that.
And one other important thing to know is that, you know, right now the red meat industry gets a lot of flack for not being sustainable in those pieces. But one of the initiatives that the Australian industry has committed themselves to is to be entirely carbon neutral by 2030. So that's right around the corner if you think about how large of an industry that is. And we're already very close to it now. So there's plenty of information about that and how we're doing that, because we get questions all the time like, is a ship, you know, sending hundreds of thousands of pounds of product from Australia to the United States. How can that possibly even be green? But being sent by ship, we've had scientific studies done on it. And you can read all that sort of information on our website, trueaussiebeefandlamb.com.
Wonderful. Guys, please check that out because I'm loving the sound of this. I'm going to have to try some of this beef and lamb for sure.
Perfect. And don't forget, like as we talked about, as you started talking about earlier today about our Guinness World Record attempt tomorrow for Australia Day. If you haven't tried Australian lamb, go to your retailer, make sure you look for it. You can usually find it on pack, but even if you don't try it that day, come and learn about Australian culture. We're going to have a celebrity guest chef, Chef Jet Tila, who's going to be our host. We're going to have a lot of our other chef friends from all over the country joining us, and they're going to be there live with you. So if you want to ask any sort of question, there's going to be plenty of points to interact. Like you get to choose what I cook that day in the moment. So there's a lot of fun little things like that. You also get a free t-shirt if you join. So come be a part of history. Come be a part of this awesome Guinness World Record, and also learn a couple things along the way. It's tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern, and it's only an hour. So an hour of your time to come out and check and learn more about us.
So tell us a little bit about the details of the dinner tomorrow night.
Yeah, so on top of those guest chefs that we also have a few different folks that are like to cook a lot of different recipes across social media. I can't give away all the details. I can't tell everybody all the secrets that are happening, but one of them, we have one of our chef friends from the Culinary Vegetable Institute and the Chef's Garden, who's literally turning a dinner into a plate of art. So it's really cool to not only see traditional recipes, but you can also get really into the brains of some of these really creative chefs and see how they create new recipes and ideas.
That's exciting. So can you tell our audience a little bit more how they can participate themselves?
Yeah, so if you go to trueaussiebeefandlamb.com/Aussie Dinner Hour, or if that's too long to remember, just go to trueaussiebeefandlamb.com. Has all the instructions there on how to RSVP. Mm-hmm. And you can also go to our Instagram, which is @AussieBeefLamb, to find sign up instructions as well.
I do know that there's going to be a little bit of competition happening within the dinner. So I'm pretty excited for that, a little trivia. That should be a lot of fun. So guys, if you want a little bit more information, go to my stories. I've posted up some information about the dinner tomorrow night. It should be really exciting. I'm super excited. Josh is not here at the moment, but he's also excited to be a part of this. And we can't wait to see you. It's going to be great.
Yes, please join us, and I hope to see you there.
Yes. All right. You have a great day. Thank you so much for coming on with us, guys. This was brought to you by Concierge Q, and you are here with Chef Adam Moore. Yep. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're absolutely welcome. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.